Family betrayed me at Gala, how I exposed their affair. I walked into my own house and found my family waiting to rewrite my life. They chose my best friend over me. If this story grabs you, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to Viora for more heart-pounding tales that cut deep. I'm Miles Atwood, 42, a corporate attorney in Boulder, Colorado. Not a legal titan, but I've built a solid life, $3 million in assets, a modern ranch house in Chautauqua, a Tesla Model Y for me, and a Mercedes GLC for my wife, Caroline. She's 39, a nonprofit director with a warm smile that wins donors, and a wit that keeps our dinner parties lively. We met at a Denver charity auction, her outbidding me for a Napa wine tour, me stealing her number instead. 10 years later, we're the family. Everyone envies two sons, Connor 18 and Liam 16, ski trips to Vail. A border collie named Jasper who fetches frisbees like a pro, life's good. Or so I thought. Caroline's the heart of our home, organizing fundraisers, coaching Liam's soccer. Charming my mom, Evelyn Atwood, who lives nearby. I'm the backbone, closing deals for tech startups, managing our investments. My office stacked with contracts. My best friend Keith Randall is the only wild card, a 43-year-old venture capitalist. Keith's been my rock since law school, godfather to Connor, my wingman through life's storms. I've funneled $30,000 into his startup fund over the years, no questions asked. He's family. Caroline says I don't blink. I'm the guy who delivers last month. Caroline started slipping. She'd missed dinner. Her phone buzzing at odd hours, her laugh forced. I found a man's watch in her car. Silver engraved, KR, not mine. She shrugged. Keith's from a fundraiser. He forgot it. I nodded, but doubt crept in cold and sharp. Then came the late-night texts, her screen angled away her excuses. Work stress thin. Jasper sensed it, his ears flat when she came home reeking of unfamiliar cologne. If this drama hooks you, smash like, share your thoughts, and join Viora for stories that hit home. I didn't snap. I'm a lawyer, evidence over emotion. I called my old law school buddy Owen Pierce, a cybersecurity consultant who'd traced a client's stolen funds in 20. Miles, you sound off, he said over whiskey at the kitchen. I spilled it, the watch, the texts. Caroline's distance could be nothing, he said, could be trouble. Want me to look quietly, I said. Owen handed me a GPS tracker for Caroline's car and a keylogger for her laptop. Facts first, he warned. Don't lose yourself. I didn't sleep, the guest room's silence louder than Jasper's snores. The tracker showed Caroline at a Boulder hotel last week. Not the board meeting in Denver. She'd claimed. I checked our bank app. $3,000 for travel expenses, no receipts. Then $1,500 at a jewelry store. No new bracelet on her. My gut twisted, but I stayed calm. I installed the keylogger, its data streaming to Owen's server, and waited. The keylogger pinged in 2 days. Caroline's emails to Keith Randall, her tone flirty. Miles is buried in work. She wrote, meet me at the St. Julian, 8 p.m. Fundraisers our cover. My heart sank. Keith. My best friend who'd toasted my promotion last month, his arm around Caroline. I saved the emails, my coffee cold. Jasper's whine piercing the quiet. This wasn't just a fling, it was a betrayal. I didn't confront her. I called Owen. It's Keith, dig into him, Owen cursed. Your wingman, damn, I'm on it. I hired a PI, Sarah Vaughn, a former DA with a knack for discretion. Track Caroline and Keith. I said I need proof. Sarah delivered in 72 hours photos of Caroline and Keith at a Boulder wine bar. Her hand on his arm, his lips grazing her neck. They left for his downtown loft, her Mercedes trailing his BMW. A bank transfer showed $10,000 from Caroline's nonprofit to Keith's venture fund labeled consulting. My money siphoned through her lies. I stared at the images, my office's skyline dim, Jasper's head on my knee. This was a heist. That night, Caroline came home, her smile bright. Big donor pitch, she said, kicking off her heels. I nodded, my jaw tight, reviewing a contract. Nice, I said, the lie heavy. I didn't blow up. I called my lawyer Ethan Hayes, a divorce shark who'd crushed a client's ex. Start the papers, I said, and check Caroline's nonprofit for fraud. Ethan's voice was calm. You've got evidence, plenty. I said, more's coming. I kept moving. Client meetings, gym sessions, soccer games with Liam. Caroline didn't notice, too busy with her fundraiser prep. The Boulder Unity Gala, her annual nonprofit event, was a week away, 600 guests, my firm sponsoring $15,000. She'd invited Keith, texting him, Miles is bankrolling it, bring the charm. My blood boiled, but I stayed cool. The first twist hit at a client dinner. My paralegal, Rachel Cole, pulled me aside, her voice low. Miles, I saw Caroline at the Dushanbe Tea House last week with Keith Randall. They weren't working. Rachel's no snitch. She's loyal. I knotted my throat tight. Thanks. The tea house was 5 minutes from our house. Caroline had said she was at a grant meeting. I called Sarah. Get Keith's financials. She sent a report in 48 hours. Keith's venture fund was bleeding $400,000 in debt. Caroline's consulting payments were propping him up, routed through a shell company, Rocky Peak Ventures, tied to her brother Tyler Grayson. I checked our joint account, $25,000 in transfers to Rocky Peak over 6 months. No invoices. Caroline wasn't just cheating. She was laundering my money for Keith. I met Owen at a brewery, Boulder's Flatirons glowing outside Caroline's funding. Keith's fund, I said, sliding Sarah's report across the table. Tyler's in on it. Owen's jaw dropped. Her brother. That's brutal. What's the play? Crush them, I said. But first I need more. I tasked Sarah with tailing Tyler. She reported back Tyler meeting Keith at a Denver bar, handing him a flash drive. Sarah's note. Drive likely has financial data. Tyler's been accessing Caroline's nonprofit server. I texted Rachel. Check the Gala budget. Look for Rocky Peak Ventures. Rachel replied, $20K to Rocky Peak. No services listed. It's a front. The next twist came from Tyler himself. He showed up at my office, his usual tech bro swagger, gone. Eyes darting. Miles, we gotta talk, he said, closing the door. Caroline's in deep with Keith. He's got debts. Bad people, not banks. She's moving money to protect him, but it's spiraling. Spiraling. I said, my voice hard. She's stealing from me. Tyler flinched. She didn't tell me it was your money. I just helped with the accounts. You helped. I stood pointing to the door. Get out. He scrambled, mumbling apologies. I texted Sarah. Track Tyler's bank. He's complicit. Then I called Ethan, add Tyler to the suit embezzlement. Sarah's report landed. Tyler had received $12,000 from Rocky Peak, labeled tech support. No support. Just cash for his startup. Caroline's scam wasn't just with Keith. Her brother was a partner. I forwarded it to Ethan. Freeze Rocky Peak's accounts, I said, and tip the feds. The Gala was 5 days away, and I had a plan. I met Owen at his cybersecurity firm, the air buzzing with monitors. Can you hack the Gala's AV system to play a video on my queue? I asked, handing him Sarah's files. Texts, photos, transfers. Owen grinned. You're going full scorched earth, huh? They started the fire. I said, I'm just fanning it. I didn't tell Caroline. I smiled at her. Gala Prep nodded at her donor calls and kept Jasper close. Her texts grew sharp. Why are you so distant? I replied. Busy, she bought it, but her eyes lingered, nervous. I was done being her pawn. The night before the gala, Rachel called, her voice tense. Miles found something big. Keith's been meeting a guy, Victor Kane, a loan shark. Rocky Peak is paying him off. Caroline's signature is on the transfers. I gripped the phone. Boulder's Peak's dark outside Kane. Yeah, Rachel said. He's dangerous. Watch your back. I texted Sarah, track Victor Kane galas tomorrow. She replied, he's on the guest list, VIP pass via Rocky Peak. The gala wasn't just Caroline's spotlight. It was a money drop. I called Ethan. Feds need to be at the Gala. Kane's the target. What do you do when your family bets against you? I was about to show them all. Loyalty is a currency. Betrayal spends it all. Boulder's morning frost bit my skin as I pounded the pavement. Jasper's leash taut. Caroline's email to Keith Randall Miles is buried in work, searing my mind. Her affair with my best friend, the $25,000 scam through Rocky Peak Ventures, and Tyler's role weren't just a betrayal. They were a calculated robbery tied to Victor Kane's loan shark ring. The gala in 5 days was their battlefield, and I was ready to torch their plans. Sarah, my PI, texted as I cooled off Kane's ring launder's money through nonprofit grants. Keith's $400K debt is their hook. Caroline's Gala funds are the wash. I gripped my phone. Boulder's Flatirons stark against the sky. Caroline wasn't just cheating, she was funneling my money to save Keith's neck. I forwarded the report to Ethan, my lawyer. Add money laundering, I said, and prep the feds for the Gala. Ethan's voice was grim. Miles Kane's crew doesn't play. You're poking a bear. Let it roar. I said, I'm not blinking. I kept my routine client calls, depositions. Walks with Jasper. Caroline was lost in Gala prep. Her smile brittle, oblivious to my moves. Owen, my cybersecurity buddy, was rigging the Gala's AV system with Sarah's evidence texts, hotel photos, bank transfers. This'll gut them, he said. Sinking the remote, I nodded, my blood ice. Caroline thought she was untouchable. She was mistaken. The first twist hit at the office. Rachel. My paralegal slid a folder across my desk, her eyes sharp. Found $15,000 in Gala payments to a vendor. Peak Pulse Events. It's a shell tied to Keith's sister, Hannah Randall. No services, just a bank drop. I leaned back the name, clicking Hannah the quiet one at our Vale ski trips, always near Carolyn, sipping mulled wine. Another player in their game. Send it to Ethan, I said. Rachel nodded, her loyalty a lifeline. I texted Sarah Dig into Hannah Randall. She's in deep, Sarah replied. Got her, she's working Gala logistics with Kane. The Gala was a syndicate hub, not just a fundraiser. That night, Caroline tried to play normal roasting chicken, her hands unsteady. Miles, you're so quiet, she said, pouring wine. The Gala's gonna be huge. Keith's bringing investors. I sat my plate untouched, her new cologne, his cologne choking me. Keith's a big deal now, huh? I said, my voice low. Her glass trembled, eyes darting. He's a partner. Why are you weird? I stood, grabbed my keys, and left for Owen's firm, Boulder's Peaks, looming under starlight. Her control was crumbling, and I wasn't catching her. Sarah's report on Hannah landed the next morning. Peak Pulse Events was a front moving $70,000 from Caroline's Gala budget to a Belize account. Hannah was the courier, Keith the beneficiary, Kane. The enforcer, worse, Tyler, had deposited $8,000 from Peak Pulse labeled app development. No app, just cash for his startup. I forwarded it to Ethan. This is fraud, I said. Freeze Peak. Pulse's accounts. Ethan whistled. You're dismantling their empire, Miles, but Kane's ring, they'll hit hard. I'm harder. I said. I called Owen. Add. Hannah's transfers to the AV. He grinned. You're a damn assassin. I wasn't an assassin. I was precise. The Gala was in 4 days and I was locked in. The second twist came from my mom, Evelyn. She called, her voice shaky. Miles, I need to see you. It's about Caroline. I met her at her Boulder condo, the fireplace crackling. She looked frail, hands wringing. Caroline's in trouble with Keith. She said, he's got debts, dangerous people. She's moving money to protect him, but it's gone wrong. Wrong how? I said, my voice steel. Evelyn's eyes welled. She asked me to cover for her, said it was for the boys. I gave her $5,000 from my savings. I didn't know it was your money. My money. I stepped closer. You funded her affair. She sobbed. I thought I was helping. I turned away, texting Sarah. Check Evelyn's bank, she's involved. Then I called Ethan. Mom's complicit, get her statement, but don't trust her. Sarah's report hit. Evelyn had wired $5,000 to Peak Pulse labeled family support. No support, just a deposit for Caroline's scam. My own mother siding with my wife. I didn't flinch. I texted Rachel, swap Peak Pulse for a legit vendor at the Gala. Now Rachel replied, done, used Boulder catering. Hannah's pissed, but I shut her down. The third twist landed the next day. Tyler called, his voice frantic. Miles, meet me at Pearl Street, Caroline's. Scared Kane's people are watching her. I met him under the mall's twinkling lights, his hoodie soaked in sweat. She's trying to pay off Keith's debt, he said. But Kane wants more, your firm's client list. Caroline's got access through your home server. My blood froze. My firm, my life's work was their next target. She's hacking me, I said, my voice low. Tyler's hands shook. She didn't want to. Kane's threatening Connor and Liam. I grabbed his collar. You helped her steal $25,000. Don't play victim. He crumpled, sobbing. I let go, texting Owen. Secure my home server. Check for breaches. Then I called Ethan. Caroline's targeting my firm. Lock the server alert. The feds. Owen's report came fast. A backdoor in my home server accessed via Caroline's laptop, pulling client financials. Not Tyler pro level. Likely Kane's hacker. I didn't pause. I met Sarah at a diner, Boulder's skyline, gray Kane's at the Gala. I said, VIP pass, get his moves. Sarah nodded. He's meeting a guy, Marcus Holt. Kane's enforcer. They're planning a cash drop. I texted Owen, add Marcus Holt's profile to the AV. The Gala was a syndicate stage, and I was rewriting the script. The gala night arrived. Boulder's lights sparkling as I pulled into the convention center in a tailored suit. Jasper with Owen. Caroline was radiant in crimson silk, charming donors. Unaware of the frozen accounts, Keith worked the crowd, his BMW beside her Mercedes. Hannah managed logistics, a tablet in hand. Marcus lurking near the bar, a duffel bag at his feet. I played sponsor, my firm's logo on every banner. My stomach a knot. Rachel whispered. Peak Pulse is out, Boulder catering's in. I nodded, my pulse steady. Sarah texted Marcus. Pass the bag to Kane, black SUV lot C. I slipped outside the mountain air, sharp spotting the SUV. Kane climbed in. Marcus driving. I texted Sarah. Track them plates. Back inside, Caroline grabbed my arm. Her smile strained. Miles, you're off. What's wrong? I pulled away, my voice cold. Ask Keith. Her face fell, but I joined clients, the music pulsing. Owen texted, Avi's ready, your call. I waited, letting Caroline bask in her moment. During her speech, to Boulder's unity, I hit the remote. The screen lit up Caroline's texts. To Keith, Miles is clueless. Photos of them in his loft, lips locked. Transfers to Peak Pulse Kane's account. The crowd gasped, glasses clinking. Caroline's mic dropping. Keith bolted, but I blocked him. My fist slamming his cheek, blood staining his tie. Stay down, I growled. He collapsed. Guests, stunned. Caroline screamed, Miles, stop. The screen played her voice. Keith, we're set after this. The room spun. Boulder's elite frozen. Sarah texted feds, nabbed Kane's SUV, $40K cash. I stepped back, Keith groaning, Caroline sobbing. I walked out, the night swallowing me, my suit flecked with blood. Ethan called, feds have Marcus Kane's detained. Caroline's exposed. I drove to Chautauqua, the mountains, dark. Caroline's watch. Keith's watch was in my pocket, a dead weight. Evelyn's plea I was helping gnawed at me. Was Caroline a victim or a viper? I called Sarah, find Caroline. She's running. Sarah reported back, Caroline's at a motel in Longmont, Tyler's with her. No Keith, I texted Owen. Check. Keith's crypto wallet. Ethan called. Divorce papers are ready. Serve Caroline tomorrow. The final twist hit at midnight. Owen texted Keith's crypto wallet, moved $60K to a guy named Derek Voss, Kane's hacker, ex-CIA, Denver. He's wiping their tracks. I leaned against my Tesla, the night still, Derek Voss. Another shadow, I texted Sarah. Find Derek Voss. Then I called Rachel. Check the Gala's crypto payments. Caroline's trail. Rachel replied, found $30K in crypto to Voss's wallet. Caroline authorized it. Caroline wasn't just a pawn, she was orchestrating, and Keith was her shield. I drove to Longmont, the motel's neon flickering. Caroline's Mercedes was there. Tyler's Jeep beside it. I knocked my fist heavy. Tyler opened his face, pale. Caroline sat on the bed, whiskey bottle in hand. Eyes hollow. Miles, she whispered, standing. I didn't want this. I tossed the watch on the floor. You wanted Keith. You wanted Kane's money, she sobbed. Kane would have killed him. I had to protect the boys. I turned away. Tyler's pleas, fading, my phone buzzing. Sarah, Derek Voss is in Boulder meeting. Keith warehouse on Valmont, I texted Owen. We're going in. The gala was over, but the fight wasn't. Boulder's night was sharp as I parked my Tesla near the Valmont warehouse. Sarah's text blazing in my mind. Derek Voss is meeting Keith, now Caroline's affair with Keith Randall, her $25,000 scam through Rocky Peak Ventures, and their ties to Victor Kane's loan shark ring had shattered me, but the Gala's AV reveal her texts, their trysts. The money trail had turned the tide. Kane and Marcus Holt were in federal custody. Caroline and Tyler were hiding in a Longmont motel, but Derek Voss, Kane's ex-CIA hacker, was the new threat. I wasn't Miles Atwood, the man who took punches anymore. I was the one throwing them. Owen met me in the warehouse lot, his laptop humming in his Tacoma. Voss is a shadow, he said, pulling up a dark web profile, crypto scams, data breaches for Kane's ring. Keith's $60K transfer went to him, erasing their tracks. I knotted Jasper's leash tight in my hand, left with Owen for safety. Can you pinpoint Voss? Done, Owen said. He's inside with Keith. Warehouse is a black hole, no security. I texted Sarah backup. Now then I called Ethan, my lawyer. Feds need to raid this warehouse. Voss is the linchpin. Ethan's voice was tense. Miles, you're too deep. Let the feds take it. They're too late, I said, grabbing a flashlight. I'm ending this. Sarah pulled up her ex-DA instincts, razor sharp. One entry, she said, checking her Glock. Keith's BMW is out back. Voss's burner pinged here 15 minutes ago. We crept to the loading dock. The warehouse's steel walls looming. Boulder's air thick with pine inside. Voices cut through Keith's frantic. Voss's icy Kane's done. Voss snapped. You and Caroline blew it. She's talking to the feds. My chest tightened. Caroline talking, I signaled Sarah, and we slipped inside, the air heavy with dust and grease. Keith paced near a pallet of crates. Voss at a laptop, its screen flashing crypto transactions. A duffel bag sat open, cash, hard drives, a pistol. I stayed low. Sarah covering Owen outside with Jasper ready to call the feds. The first twist hit when Keith's phone lit up. He answered, his voice low. Tyler, keep Caroline quiet. We're not done. I froze. Tyler, still feeding Keith intel. Sarah's eyes narrowed, confirming my fear. Tyler wasn't just complicit. He was Keith's lifeline. I texted Owen Trace Tyler's phone. He's with Keith. Sarah whispered. Hit them now or wait. Now. I said, stepping out, flashlight blazing. It's over, Keith. He spun, face pale. Voss reaching for the pistol. Sarah was faster, her Glock steady. Don't try it, she said, voice like steel. Voss froze, hands up. Keith stammered. Miles, you don't get it. This wasn't personal. I laughed, cold, holding up Caroline's watch. You stole $25,000 and my wife. It's personal. Voss smirked, unruffled. You're a fly in a web. Atwood, walk away. Sarah cuffed him, but Keith lunged for the bag. I tackled him, my fist grazing his jaw, cash spilling across the concrete. Owen burst into feds behind their shouts, echoing, FBI freeze. Keith collapsed. Voss cursing as agents seized the laptop and bag. Sarah handed me a hard drive from the pile. This is their ledger, she said, guarded outside the feds, cuffed Keith, his BMW impounded. Owen texted Tyler's phone, shows text to Keith Caroline's location plans. He's been spying. I gripped the hard drive. Boulder's mountains dark against the sky. Tyler, the brother-in-law I'd bankrolled, was Keith's mole. I called Ethan Tyler's a traitor. Add him to the suit. The next twist came at dawn. Rachel, my paralegal, called, her voice urgent. Miles, I traced the Gala's crypto payments, found $40,000 more to a woman, Lydia Burke. She's Kane's accountant, but here's the kicker. Caroline was extorting her, threatening to leak her role to Kane. I leaned against my Tesla. The city waking. Caroline extorting. The woman who'd sobbed, I had to protect the boys, was playing Kane's own game. I texted Sarah, find Lydia Burke. Then I called Owen, pull Lydia's financials. She's the missing piece. Sarah reported back. Lydia's in Denver, hiding in a Lodo condo. She's got accounts tied to Rocky Peak. I drove to Denver, the Rockies blurring. Sarah tailing Lydia's condo was sleek, her Lexus in the garage. I knocked my knuckles tight, Sarah behind. Lydia answered her suit. Pristine eyes, wary. Miles Atwood, she said, smirking. Caroline said you'd come. I held up the hard drive. Your crypto deals with Kane. Caroline's extortion feds have it. Her smirk faded, but she laughed. Caroline's no victim. She's got a hidden account. $150. 000 offshore. Check the drive. She was planning to vanish with Keith. I froze, the condo's city view taunting me. Caroline vanishing. Sarah plugged the drive into her laptop. Files loaded Caroline's emails to a Panama bank, setting up a $150 000 account. A text to Keith. Once Kane's paid, we're free. My stomach churned. Caroline wasn't cornered. She was the mastermind. Sarah's voice was low. She used you to bankroll her escape. I nodded, my jaw clenched. Get this to the feds. Lydia's eyes widened, but Sarah cuffed her. You're finished, Burke. We left the feds raiding the condo. Lydia's Lexus seized back in Boulder. I met Ethan at his office. The Flatirons glowing. Caroline's in custody. He said Tyler, too. Keith spilling on Kane. Voss's laptop had syndicate records. $3 million in dirty money tied to Caroline's Gala. Feds are dismantling Kane's Denver crew. I sank into a chair, Jasper's leash in my hand. Caroline's offshore account confirmed, Ethan said. She faces fraud, laundering, extortion. Tyler's testifying against her for a deal. You're clear, Miles, full asset control, no alimony. I nodded, the weight of Caroline's watch gone, tossed into Boulder Creek last night. But the final twist hit as I left. Owen called, his voice grim. Miles, Voss's laptop had a hidden file. It's not just Kane. There's a bigger fish, the architect. No name, just a VPN in Chicago. They bankrolled Kane, used Caroline's Gala to test a crypto laundering model. Your firm's client list was their real prize. I stood in the lot, the mountain still, the architect. My firm, my legacy was a pawn in a larger scheme. I texted Sarah Trace, the architect, Chicago VPN. Then I called Rachel, audit my firm's servers, look for breaches. Rachel reported. Found a rootkit. Someone's been siphoning client data for months. Not Voss, elite external. I gripped my phone, Boulder's skyline fading. The architect was watching. I drove to Chautauqua. Jasper bounding inside the house, too quiet. Caroline's Gala was rubble, her scam exposed. But the architect loomed. I met Owen at a brew pub, the Flatirons dark outside. You done? He asked, sliding me a stout. No, I said, my voice hard. The architect targeted me. I'm hunting them? Sarah texted. The architect's VPN traces to a shell corp. Nexus Ventures. No names yet. I nodded, the stout bitter. Caroline's betrayal had cost me everything, trust, family, peace, but it had forged me. I had saved my firm, buried her scam, but the architect was unfinished business. I stood on my deck, Boulder's stars sharp. Caroline's voice, I had to protect the boys, was a lie. Her offshore account, her truth, Tyler's tears, Keith's blood. Kane's cuffs, they were battles won, but the war lingered. Had I fought too far or not far enough? What do you do when betrayal hides a deeper shadow? The hardest victories leave the deepest scars. Like what you heard. Hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to Viora, because the next story might just be your favorite one yet.